Hey everybody. This one's actually taking me a little bit longer to put together, I'm not gonna lie. For those of y'all that got to check out my first video series, that one I kind of focused a lot more on leadership. This one is gonna be more of, I guess, like a chronicle type deal. Realistically, what I wanted to do, because so many folks struggle with so many different things, and being military, we talk about being resilient, having that grit, that hardiness of spirit. And sometimes it's just nice to know that there's somebody else out there that is, no kidding, going through the same thing that you're going through. So for me, it's tough, because I've been told a lot that I'm a survivor. And when I think about what that actually means, it means more than you might think it means. So just to put it into perspective, just the dictionary definition of surviving is essentially to live or exist in spite of hard circumstances. And I'm paraphrasing just a little bit, but the key part to that, there's two: to live and or exist, whichever one you're cool with. So to live, and then the hardship part. Those two things kind of go hand in hand. And I'd be lying if I said that my life was super duper easy. And I get it. There's some folks out there that have had it harder than me. And for y'all, my heart goes out to you. But my hopes with this is to kind of share my story of my survival mentality. And hopefully it's something that'll resonate with you and help you out. And really kind of give some perspective to what's going on with the folks that might be literally just living the same life as you day in and day out. So it's going to be something that I kind of have to build upon. I have to do all of the different things, and I'll try and keep it in chronological order, and really just kind of playing to the fact that you have to keep surviving, you have to keep living, because no matter what, good stuff is in store, y'all. Some of the best things that will ever happen to you are still waiting for you to get there, and that's huge. So for me, I grew up in a trailer park. I really did. I was born in a fairly decent size city, Springfield, Ohio, and I ended up very, very low income. My mom worked, I think 2 or 3 jobs, so pretty generalized story up to this point. She just didn't have the best taste in men. That ultimately didn't bode well for me. My father was a terrible, terrible individual. He definitely didn't do the things to help make her life easier. He didn't contribute to the household in any way, shape, or form. He really just kind of let her do everything. And when I was about 3 or 4 years old, my father actually sexually assaulted me. So right off the get-go, I was not set up for anything good. To have to overcome something like that and survive something like that so early in your life is hard. Luckily for me, even though it was something that at the time I didn't think was the best thing for me, I ended up going into foster care. I spent about 3 years in foster care. I was with my older sister for a large portion of that. And then ultimately I was adopted when I was about 9 years old. And when I was adopted, my adoptive father, he didn't know how much it would be beneficial to me. And honestly, I didn't know at the time either, but I spent about 3 or 4 years going through therapy. And as a kid, you don't really have the value of what therapy is and what it can do for you. But it was huge for me. Being able to, no kidding, talk through those things in a way that I didn't even realize I was doing has paid huge dividends for me as an adult. And now I am able to help folks when they talk about their trauma and things that they have been through. I'm able to be there, lend that shoulder, know what their pain is, and not just go, oh my gosh, I can only imagine, that must be awful, but truly be there for them because I survived it. And I continue to live each day despite the things that have happened to me or that specific thing. So you fast forward, I've been adopted. And so my whole thing is I never fully understood everything that went on with my mom until I was honestly about into my early 20s. And so I was a teenager. I was still trying to reach out to her, and luckily I was able to get back in contact with her. And then by the time I started to try and repair that relationship, and she was putting in the work, doing everything that she could, my adoptive father was super understanding during that entire time and really allowed me to kind of flourish in that way. She got diagnosed with cancer, and she passed away when I was 15 years old. I had made all of these plans. I was going to move in with her when I turned 18. I was going to attend a local college there. I was going to pursue culinary arts because that's what she had went for. I had it all mapped out, and the plans went awry. I did get to catch up with her and get some good years towards the end of her life, and honestly, it wasn't enough, and I got very, very angry for a long time. I pushed a lot of people away. I started looking at events and things that I had accomplished and telling myself that it didn't matter because she wasn't there to see it happen. And I took a lot of value from the things that I did, even though I had accomplished something huge. Graduating high school when I lived in the inner city at this point and was I went to a school where I was the exact opposite. I grew up in a neighborhood where I was the only person of my skin tone, so I definitely stood out because I'm about as far on the other side of the spectrum as you can get. I used to always get jokes of like I could hold a piece of paper up next to you, I would know which one was which of course is extreme, but that's the life I lived. I lived in the inner city. I watched some of my friends join gangs and not make it to their 18th birthday because they got shot and died. But yeah, all of these things that I'm trying to figure it all out on my own. I'm pushing people away. Accomplishments that I'm getting, graduating from high school doesn't really do anything. I graduated early. I graduated when I was 16 years old, and didn't mean anything to me. I started college when I was 17. Did college for a year. Went for culinary arts because that was as close to the original plan as I could get. Ended up running out of money. Joined the military. I ended up marrying someone that I was dating for 2 months. Didn't ever really get formally engaged. Got married. Luckily for me, I got my first son. He is now 10. So that was something great that came of it. And that marriage lasted about 8 years. She struggled with some things and didn't necessarily seek the help out while we were together. And it really put a huge hardship on our marriage. And it got to a point where it was just difficult for me to actually be able to be there for her because I was just mentally, physically, spiritually, you name it, exhausted. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So I went through my first divorce. And it was while I was deployed, lots and lots of things playing into that. So it was definitely a difficult time for me. But I bounced back from it. I came back. I made rank. I got an amazing new job. I met someone that I thought was pretty amazing. We got married about a year and a half later. We were married for 6 or 7 months before I found out that she was unfaithful with a coworker of hers. So here I am, just before 30. I've been divorced twice. Both of my biological parents at this point are now passed away. My adoptive father is not doing so great with his mental health. And from my second marriage, I now have another young child. And so it's very, very easy if I wanted to take the time to go, you know what, there's a lot of bad things that have happened. And these are just some of the anti-highlights, if you will, of things that have happened. And there have been other little things along the way, but these huge things. And where the notion in all of this is what do you choose to do in those moments? Do you take the time and look around at what you do have? And you, like I said, do you live or exist despite of the hardships? And live, y'all, like truly live, not, and that's why I like live better than I like exist, because existing is sometimes just being there. Just being there. Living is being present. Experiencing what's happening. Living your life is different than just existing in your life. And so that's why I like to use live more, because I have lived every moment of my life. And I mean live to the point where, like, I didn't expect someone to go, you're a survivor. You have a survivor's mindset. Because for me, I'm just living. I go through the ups and downs. Things are hard. You overcome them. You lean on the people that you have brought into your circle that strengthen you and pick you back up when you fall, that keep your head up, keep you focused on your goals. So I never felt like I was surviving. I always felt like I was just in it. And I've loved every moment of it because it has made me into the unique and dynamic individual that I am. And it has given me a platform and experience to share with other folks and talk them through the struggles that they're dealing with and help them and give them at least some little something to go, you know what, I'm not alone. Other people are dealing with the same thing. Because that was the hardest part through all of it for a long time was, do other people even deal with these types of things? And after I figured it out, I was like, well, I want to help them with these things. I want to help folks that have dealt with sexual assault from someone that is very, very close to them. I want to help people who are going through divorces and they don't know what to do. They feel like it's the end of their life and that nothing else is going to come now that this terrible thing has happened. Some people that I've ran into are exceptionally religious and they feel as though they've just let so many people and entities down that, like, that's something that they have to deal with. You know, this has given me the opportunity to just give back. And I know it's weird to think of terrible experiences as a gift, but I do sometimes think of them as just that, because it has given me the ability to reach people and help people in ways that I never thought I would have the opportunity to do. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope that you'll take this no matter what's going on in your life, and you will choose to survive. You will choose to live your life, not just exist. And know that great things are on the other side. Y'all, great things are on the other side. This same guy who went through all of those things, and this is not a brag, this is just an acknowledgement of achievements, because I never used to give myself credit for them. I have, in all of those years, I'm just shy of 30 now, I've achieved, all while, like, still being active duty military, all of that good stuff. Achieved 2 associate's degrees, multiple teaching certifications, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. I'm pursuing a nutrition certification. I have my own nutrition business. I have my own home, a career that I love. Y'all, the greatest days of your life are still waiting for you. No matter what hardship you're going through right now, things will get better. And I can't wait to see the smile on your face when you survived for so long that you finally get to reap those amazing benefits that are waiting for you on the other side. The light's there, and y'all, it's great over here. So keep pushing, keep pursuing. And if y'all need absolutely anything, an ear to just let it all out, someone to talk to that's been through what you've been through, please reach out to me. I would love to help any and every person that I can. So much love for y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Take it easy. Have a good one.